Boots and Heels. We're so glad you joined us.
I'm Boots.
And I'm Heels. Glad to see you again. You know, we've been going over some pretty controversial topics lately. And, you know, we've had a lot of comments and we appreciate it so much. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that today. We have so much in the news. Listen, we can't help it that so many crazy things are happening in this world.
Isn't it just nuts?
We can't help it. I mean, we feel like we need to go over it. We need to discuss it. We need to have a conversation with people about it. That's why we started this. But we can't help the actual topics that are happening to have these, you know, to have these conversations. You know, what are we to do?
Hey,
So-
it's not my choice to have this administration ruin our country.
Not at all. I mean,
We're just here to talk about it.
That's exactly right. So, and that's what we'll continue to do. So, thank you, people, for chiming in and for commenting. Even when we read some of the disgusting comments that we get about our personal appearances. I don't know why that people would attack a female and their personal appearances unless there's jealousy. We just thought we would bring that up real quick and just say, you know what, thank you guys for taking up for us when that happens. And, if you're going to punch us, we're going to punch back, though. We're not the
Or just ignore it because it's completely irrelevant to me.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
It's hard for me sometimes to do that. But anyway, but we do want to actually go above that and beyond that and say thank you to everybody else that is coming in on these conversations and given, the adult version of a conversation instead of the crybaby, craziness that we read a lot as well. But we do appreciate the ones that actually keep an adult conversation going.
I never thought that I would be attacked so much for saying that I appreciate the fact that my mother gave me the opportunity as a fetus in her womb to have my life and to actually thrive. So I never thought that me saying that would be something that people would attack me over, but that's okay. Go ahead.
We had the subject last week about Roe versus Wade, and basically, that the power is given back to the states where it originated from the beginning. And we did talk a little bit about that, and all of a sudden we're getting a lot of input about the 10-year-old that had to cross a state line in order to receive an abortion. Let me be clear about something here to the entirety of the audience here. That 10-year-old should not have that child. That 10-year-old, if that 10-year-old is pregnant, was raped. So there are terrible circumstances surrounding that, and I'm of the belief that she should not have this baby. We know that there are circumstances, but to take that situation and exploit that little girl to make a point
is awful.
It's really awful. Shame on you for doing that. For those of you that were doing that, should not exploit that little girl. I tell you what, I'd like to say the perpetrator, the rapist in that case, where's your voice on that rapist, that person? Where is your voice? Your voice is not heard when it comes to the perpetrators and the criminals that do this. This is a violation of that little girl's rights to be a little girl from the onset. That person, you should be taking to the streets and yelling for justice, that criminal be locked up. But I don't hear that. All I hear is the story about her having to go across the state line to get the abortion. And I tell you what, let a cop kill that guy. Let a cop kill that guy and you'll be wearing his t-shirts on the streets and burning down cities. And you'll be excelling him as a hero. That's why I don't trust your judgment, is because that's the kind of mentality that you have. And this is strictly for the people that have used that story to exploit Roe versus Wade, and also, the states being in control of that at this point. We elect officials state by state, so let's let them do their job, because right now I don't trust the federal government one single bit.
Well, but you can't trust any of them. And as a matter of fact, these very same people that used the 10-year-old to exploit the Roe versus Wade, where are they in demanding that the list of names be shown and these people be prosecuted that were sex trafficking in the Maxwell case?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you have a conviction for her, well, then you have to have the proof that it was done. Why aren't these people?
Yeah, where are you?
Where are you?
Yeah.
Why aren't you demanding that they be held accountable?
Yeah, what say you? Because
crickets.
Because it's hypocrisy at its best. It really is.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it is.
you just absolutely have shown and revealed yourself by even doing that. Quit exploiting that little girl. It's a terrible story, and there's lots more like it, and we understand that there's circumstances but it should not be used. And I'll tell you, the inconvenience of having to go across the state line to achieve abortion, in my opinion, makes it just as inconvenient for those people who probably are too lazy to go have an abortion if they have to travel across the state line. The same laziness that caused a lot of these people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of these people's pregnancies in the first place. If they would have used contraceptive, or basically maybe abstinence, whatever the case might be, if you're not prepared or ready to raise a child, that same inconvenience will probably cause them to give birth. And yeah, I get it. What happens to the child after the fact? And saying that Republicans somehow abandon children after they're born is an outright absolute lie.
Well, for me,
it's a lie.
A lie. What is so ridiculous is the fact that the same women that try to tell you they are capable of ruling the world are also telling other women that they're not supposed to be responsible for the results of their sexual activity.
Yeah.
Okay, empowered, intelligent women have control over their reproductive organs. We know about the birds and the bees. We know how it takes place. How about we take a little prevention? And you can sit there and you can throw that rape and incest in all you want to. And we all know that statistically, that is not the reason for most abortions. Most abortions are from bad decision making or lack of decision making. And so I say, let's have a challenge for empowered women, and let's actually show and teach what empowered women do. Empowered women make better decisions, and we also understand that we are more than dogs in heat, and we can control what we do with our sex lives.
Just wanted to touch on that as well, just to kind of, tell you where our stance is. I mean, that's what we do this for, and we can say that. And you're saying, well, you know what, this is on our news feed. Well, we don't have control of that either.
Right.
Okay, we don't have control of that.
Scroll,
if you don't, just go past. Just go past if you don't like it.
Scroll on, you can hit the little X.
Yeah, or you have, I don't know, some of you can swipe right or left.
Apparently there's a lot of that goes on. Apparently there's a lot of you that know how to swipe stuff on your phone, so just get to swiping if you don't like it.
So we're going to go on to some other subjects like, this administration who is exporting, I don't know, I've got it down here, 3.44 million barrels of our oil out of this country into other countries, including China, every single day.
Because we want to help their economies.
Yeah, with our economy and our problem at the gas pumps and the American families and stressed right now. You have a lot of Democrats too that is actually stepping up and actually talking about that. Why are we exporting to other countries when we are in the shape that we are? We have more ability to produce oil than any other countries and used to do that, and now that has basically been stalemated, but yet we are now working on other countries and improving their economy.
I mean, it becomes more and more clear every day that these maniacs, these slave masters in DC want to do nothing but crash our economy, and basically enslave all the future generations. I mean, I'll just say it.
Yeah. So, look around you and listen, because, House Democrat Akana is speaking out. A lot of Democrats are starting to not agree.
Some are starting to break ranks, which is a big, huge no-no in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Formerly, you would never, ever see a Democrat step out of line and speak the truth about what's going on in their own party. And now they're actually starting to break ranks and do that. And, I mean, we just have to keep praying that people will wake up and that they will start to take action against this, because this is just killing the average American.
Basically, Biden ran his campaign on saying that he would, absolutely not engage with MBS. And here he is getting ready to go meet with the Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia. If you guys remember, they actually hacked an American journalist to death. Okay, and he kind of ran his campaign, of course, with many other promises, and absolutely going backwards on that, because he's going to go and beg for oil from Saudi Arabia as well as OPEC, while we're giving millions and millions of barrels away to the other countries. Again, as I repeat, even to China, he's going to go and beg them for oil, though he has stopped production here.
I don't know why anybody's actually surprised. He is Taliban Joe. I mean, he has been in the pockets of Burisma, which is the Kiev mafia, for years. The Biden family took millions and millions. Hunter was on their payroll. Hunter's on the payroll of China. What does anybody expect?
Yeah.
Biden turned Afghanistan over to the Taliban. They cut a deal in Turkmenistan back in February 2021 to make them a partner on the Tapi pipeline. So why is anybody surprised about any of this? This is all a piece of the puzzle in weakening America, destroying our economy, and enslaving all the future generations. And finally, hopefully, people are starting to wake up to this. This is not happenstance.
Yeah.
It's not by accident. This is all on purpose.
Democrats keep attacking our Constitution. Biden is absolutely saying that the Second Amendment is not absolute. You know, it is. Got news for you. It is absolute.
Well, apparently neither are the safety of his depends.
Yeah. Oh,
we hear that those aren't. That's not absolute either. Poopy Joe.
It's just crazy. The gun violence, well, let me just go ahead and say this. There is no such thing as gun violence. There's only people violence.
There's people violence.
So you can spend that all you want to. Democrats out there, hope you're listening. We already have laws for people violence. We already have those, and what good has it done?
Well, we have an administration that lets people know, because they don't obey laws. They don't obey laws. You've got Nancy Pelosi's husband being let off a DUI. You've got all of this rampant violence in big cities all over the country. Nothing ever happens. You can loot, you can burn buildings, you can shoot people, you can do this, you can do that, you can rape, you can pillage, you can anything, and you're going to get away with it if you're of a certain part of society.
Sure.
So we have no respect for laws.
No.
We are setting a precedence for future generations. They know they can get away with anything they want to, and there's no recourse.
Yet they're making new laws to fit their agenda. You notice that? You know, you're not upholding the ones we have, but you're trying to make new laws to fit your agenda. You know, what about the Olympian that's over in Russia right now that, you know, I mean, is looking at a 10-year prison sentence, the same person who, you know, basically said that we shouldn't even be playing the national anthem.
Well, maybe she shouldn't have been playing in Russia and smuggling drugs in. You know, if you're going to take a job in a foreign country, maybe you should make a decision to obey their laws.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's not the blood of our family members and friends that should be spilled to go save her. She got herself into this mess, and now get yourself out. You don't like America. You don't like red-blooded Americans. You don't like anything about it over here. So live with it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
Live with it.
You know, she's probably sitting there with a little reflection going on right now about how great and wonderful our country really is at this point.
Oh, I doubt it.
You know,
everything's a means to an end for people like that. She will still talk about how she hates the average American and hates America, even if she gets saved by it. So I'm going to be absolutely enraged because you have Biden already starting to say that she's a political prisoner.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell. The January 6ers are political prisoners.
That's who's political prisoners, people.
The basketballer is not a political prisoner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to freak out if my friends and family members are expected, if something happens, we have a conflict, or we are drawn into some sort of war that includes her choosing to go to Russia to play for big bucks in basketball. Okay, you know what? If she wants to be saved, how about all the guys in the NBA chipping up some big money and paying a ransom for her to get her home? There you go. That's an idea.
Hey, what a wonderful idea.
None of them like us either. None of them like the flag, and they all kneel.
Yeah.
So how about if they want to get a sister home, they chip up some big money, because I'm sure all the Russian officials will take some big payola. How about you guys chip in some money, put your money where your mouth is, and bring Brittany home yourself?
You know what? And I guarantee you they'll jump through their butts, and I'm not talking about the NBA, I'm not talking about basketball, I'm not talking about any of that, but this administration will jump through their butts to get her home at the same time while they have left people in Afghanistan to this very single day.
Because everything is a ploy. They don't give a rip about anybody. They don't care about any of us. You are nothing but a means to an end. And good old Brittany is nothing but a means to an end either.
We do appreciate you watching, and we hope that you tune in next time as well. And if you can, go over to Pets No Politics. Take a look at our featured pets. We're going to actually be featuring a lot more animals that need your help, people.
Gosh,
so
all these rescues are in distress. They're all full to capacity. What happened to spay and neuter? Bob Barker did a great job at please spay and neuter your pets. He did a great job. Apparently Gen X has failed somewhere along the line because we just the lack of responsibility with the generations out there is astounding, and that also showing through with pets.
Yeah, and also just went on a footnote, know that it's very, very hot summer, a lot of areas in the United States and abroad, and please take care of your pets, make sure they have plenty of water and that they're out of the heat. And if you can, go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We really appreciate your subscription there as well, and that'll keep us coming up, so you're not having to look for us as well. So other than that, you got anything else?
Right, and us popping up in news feeds apparently makes the liberals mad. So you may want to like and subscribe to continue that on.
All right, so for now, we're just going to say so long, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.